Hello and welcome to another interesting lesson. In our last class, we discussed about pillars of democracy, that is constitution. Today's lesson is going to be on arms of government. You need to know the meaning of arms of government, the meaning and functions of the executive, the meaning and functions of the legislature, and the meaning and functions of the judiciary. What is arms of government? Arms of government is the structural division of the powers of government into three branches or structures. May also be defined as the separation and division of powers of the three organs of government in modern political system. The three of them are the executive, legislature, and the judiciary. The executive arm of government is the organ responsible for policy making and implementation of policies and laws made in the country. So let's see the functions of the executive. Here we have policy formulation. Policy formulation is one of the major functions of the executive. Another function of the executive is supervision. The executive supervises the administrative functions and directs the execution of laws made in the state. Another function of the executive here is appointment of top officials. The executive has the power to appoint and remove top officials of the state from government. We also have representation. Now, it represents the state in its relations with other countries. Another function here is budgeting. The executive prepares and delivers the annual income and expenditure of the states. It also maintains law and order. The law enforcement agents, like the police, are responsible for this function. Signing of bills into law is another function of the executive. Now, for a bill to become a law, the president has to sign it. Do we understand? The next thing we're going to look at here is the legislature. The major function of the legislature as one of the organs of government is lawmaking. It is also the center of discussion about policies, programs, and ideas, and the place where important decisions are made. Now, let us see the functions of the legislature. We have lawmaking. The primary function of the legislature is lawmaking, and it is done through legislative process. Another function of the legislature here is financial control. It controls the raising and spending of money and approves it as proposed by the executive. We have powers of investigation. The legislature here conducts investigations into government departments to ascertain how funds appropriated by them are spent. We also have the power of approval. Now, the legislature has the power to approve, adjust, or reject the appointment of senior public officers like the ministers and ambassadors. They have the power of questioning. It receives petitions, questioning the rulers and receiving or rejecting the answers, an account of the ruling executive. It serves as a link. It serves as a link between the people and the government, and it also performs judicial functions. For example, the House of Lords in Britain performed judicial functions, and they are known as the upper house of lawmaking. Here in Nigeria, we have two houses: the House of Senate, which is the upper house, and the House of Representative, which is the lower house. Do you understand, students? The next discussion we have here is the judiciary. The judiciary here constitutes the arms of government that interpret the law of the state and applies the existing law to individual cases. In any modern state, the liberty of individuals depend upon the fairness of the courts in providing protection against the tyranny of overzealous members of the government. Now, let us see some of the functions of the judiciary. We have interpretation of laws. The judge interprets the laws of the state and applies the existing law to individual cases. We have settlement of disputes. The courts deal with cases between private individuals and the government. Both criminal and civil cases are settled in the courts. We also have punishment of offenders. Now, the courts have the power to punish those that have offended the law of the state. The judiciary prevents wrongful acts by means of restraining orders, court acts to prevent violation of law. They also safeguard the rights of citizens. The judiciary safeguards the rights and liberties of individuals by way of entertaining complaints from aggrieved people. They help to protect the constitution. The judiciary has the power to determine whether the constitution has been violated or not. And they also have the power of review. Now they are vested with the power to review some of the activities of the executive and the legislature. Thank you for being part of this lesson. Until next time, and bye.